Udemy is now worth 1.3 billion. Coursera is worth 1.7 billion. Teachable is valued at 250 million, and Skillshare generates 14.4 million in yearly income. So clearly the online education industry is booming at the moment, and you can have a share. Now there are literally hundreds of different WordPress solutions available to build this type of website, so I've decided to try and test the most popular ones in order to find out which one was the best. And there it is. This is the one here called Geeks, and as you can see, it has a very clean, professional looking layout. Very professional indeed. Now if you go into any of those courses, you will see it has a very nice layout as well, easy to follow, and the course curriculum is nicely broken down into lessons and chapters. Now you can have all the information about the instructor and see all the details and see immediately all the courses they have available on the platform. And you have 3 different types of accounts: instructor, student and admin, all having different features and privileges. Okay guys, so the very first step is to set up our hosting and register our domain name, and for this we're going to use Hostinger. So we have negotiated special terms with them. You can save up to 91% discount if you use the link in the description below. So click on the very first link in the description below where it says mrweb.tv/hosting, and this is going to bring you to this page. Again, this is a co-branded page that we have with Hostinger that gives you access to up to 91% discount. Okay, so it's very important that you use that link. So once you're here, basically all you have to do is click Start Now, and as you can see, it's only $2.99 per month instead of $6.99 already. Okay, now if you click on this, you can select your billing cycle and save even more money. So clearly, the longer your billing cycle, the more you're going to save. So if you were to select 1 year, you will pay $2.99 a month, okay, for the 1 year, but after that the plan will renew at $8.99. so this is the normal cost basically. Okay, so you're saving here $108 over the 1 year period. Now if you were to select 24 months, basically you still paid $2.99, but in 2 years time you will renew at only $7.99. okay, so you're saving here $216. Now, if you select 48 months, so 4 years in total, you still pay $2.99 for the full year, okay, for every month. But when you renew, you will renew at only $6.99. So in total, you will save $432 US. And all these 3 billing cycles here include a free domain for the first year, which is a nice gesture as well. Now, if you scroll down the page, you can enter your email address and log in using Facebook and Google, and then you select your payment method. So you have credit cards, PayPal, Google Pay, Alipay, and CoinGate. So very convenient indeed. And now I'm going to give you an additional coupon code. Okay, so as you can see, if you select for 48 months, it would cost you $143.52. They will apply taxes on top depending where you're based in the world. Okay, so based in Ireland, myself, I would pay $176.53. okay, so this is my total cost for 4 years. Okay, now I have a coupon code, so here you click on this, and now you're going to type all in capital letters Mr. Web Reviews, okay, and then click apply, and look what's going to happen. So 176.53, and now we're down to 158.88. so you saved an additional 10% on top. So this is the bargain of the century. You know, when you see the quality of the service provided by Hosting, I have all my websites hosted with them, you know, and that's basically it. Now all you have to do is proceed to checkout, and then I'll meet you guys in the next step. And now that you are registered with them, you can log in into your account. Okay, so let's just click login, use your email address and password. Very good. As you can see, now we are logged in into our account. So the very first step is to claim our free domain. So let's click on this together. And right here, you're going to type the domain name that you'd like to register. Okay, so let's say, for instance, your domain name. Okay, and then you can select the extensions. So you have .in for India, .me for personal website, .com for commercial, .xyz, .help, etc., etc. As you can see, a very comprehensive selection here indeed. So let's select .com, for instance, as an example. Okay, and then we have to check the availability. Now, .com being the most popular one, chances are you will see this message here: this domain is already taken, please look for another one, basically. Okay, then you have to look for a different variation of the same domain name. So in our case here, since we are building an e-commerce website, we're going to look for instance to book e-commerce with Mr. Web. Okay, so let's check the availability. And as you can see, this one is available. So to register this domain name, if you're happy enough with this, all we have to do is click Claim Domain. So let's click on this. So to register a domain name, you need to add your details, business details or personal details that are attached to it, obviously, and then all you have to do is click Finish Registration. So as you can see, our domain name e-commerce with mrweb.com is being registered, and there you go. This is done now. And after this, all you have to do is click Continue, and we'll be redirected back to our dashboard, basically, okay? Very good. And as you can see, it is now active, which means that your domain name is now fully registered, okay? So let's go back to our home page. And now we need to set up our hosting itself, okay? So as you can see here underneath, I have all these different plans myself because I use them for all my different tutorials. I have VPN server, premium shared hosting, WordPress starter, and cloud startup as well. But basically yours will look something similar to this one, premium shared hosting. So this is the one that you get by using the link in the description below, okay? So to set this up is very easy. All you have to do is click Setup and then Start Now. And then we can follow the different steps, okay? So what are you doing now at the moment? Are you creating a website for yourself, for someone else, or you already have a website? Chances are you're probably creating this for yourself. Are you building it yourself? Most likely as well. And what type of website is it? We are going to build an online store, okay? This is an e-commerce. And then do you need help building your website? We're going to say no thanks, because that's the whole purpose of this tutorial, is to show you how to do it. And then we're going to create a new website, okay? Let's click on this, and we're going to select this option here. So this is WordPress we're going to use as our main platform, and then simply enter email address and password and click Continue. There you go. So what we need absolutely here is WooCommerce. All the others are optional. So basically Monster inside, Opt-in Monster, All-in-One SEO, and Google Sitekit. You can install them, but your website will be very bloated and we don't really need them, So let's click Continue now. And then which look do you prefer? We're not going to select any of them. I have a much better solution for you today. So skip, I don't need a template. And then we're going to select the domain name we just registered. Normally it should be there automatically, but you might have to click on the drop-down menu and select it manually, okay? So let's click Select. And then you have to select your nearest server to your target audience, obviously. So you're based in the United States, you have the choice between West Coast and East Coast. You have South America, Europe, and also India and Asia, South Asia, okay? So being based in Ireland myself, I'm going to select United Kingdom here, which is the nearest, okay? Let's click Change. And then now we can finish our setup. That's basically it. And now we can go straight to our WordPress dashboard or go back to our control panel, which is what we're going to do because we still have to set up our email address, okay? So let's click on Manage Site. And as you can see here, our website is running smoothly. So everything is in place and our SSL certificate has been installed as well. So everything is absolutely perfect. Now let me show you how you can set up an email address for your website. So we go here to Emails, Email Accounts. Select your domain name, so at yourdomainname.com, click Manage. And right here, if you click on the plus sign here, you can create a new email address for your domain name, okay? And right here, enter the name you want to register. So for instance, info@accounts@ yourdomainname.com, and then enter a password, okay? And all you have to do is click Create. And right here, they give you all the information required if you wanted to read this in any mail provider, like for instance, Apple Mail, Outlook, Thunderbird, or Gmail, for instance, in which case you need your incoming server, IMAP, SMTP, and POP server, the different values, and also if you need to enable SSL and TSL. That's basically it, okay? So make a copy of this. Once you have this set up, you can click Complete, and that's basically it. We're done already. And now finally we can access our WordPress dashboard and start configuring our website. Okay, so this is everything done for our server now. So we go back to websites. So we have our website here and now we can edit our website. So let's log into our WordPress dashboard. It's going to open a new tab. Okay guys, so welcome to your WordPress dashboard. So first let's do a bit of cleaning up, okay? Because a lot of things here that we don't need. So first we go to plugins, and from here we're going to bulk select them all and untick WooCommerce. That's the only one we're going to keep, okay? So now select deactivate, apply. And now we're going to do the exact same thing and untick WooCommerce. And this time in the bulk actions, we're going to select delete and then apply. then confirm. Very good. And now if we go back to our dashboard, as you can see, a lot of things have disappeared now. So it's a much cleaner environment for us to work on. And this is your main dashboard. You can also dismiss this message here. And there you go. Now we're ready to get started. So next, let's have a look at our website in the front end. So if you hover on the title of your website and then right click and then visit site, this is what it looks like at the moment. So as you can see, it's very basic. And the reason why is because it's using the 2023 theme that comes with WordPress. So basically that's a default theme. So if you go to appearance here, as you can see themes, this is the one, okay? So don't worry, we're going to install our own theme now. And for this, we're going to use Geeks. So Geeks, you can find it on the Envato marketplace. And as you can see, the cost is $59 US. It's a one-off payment. And then that's it, that's you sorted. That's the only investment here for this type of theme. So basically here you can purchase it from, like I said, the Envato marketplace, or if you want a cheaper option, I'm going to show you another one. You can also get it from the Envato Element website. As always, I'll leave all the links in the description below. So what's the difference between Envato Market and Envato Element? Envato Element works on a subscription basis. So basically if you click on pricing, and you can access it from as low as €14.50 per month, or maybe $15 or something like this, okay? And basically, once you're subscribed with them, you can download everything that's available on their platform, including Geeks, the theme that I just showed you, and then you can cancel anytime. So I'm not saying anything here. You can draw your own conclusions, okay? So once you've downloaded the theme, then we can go back to our WordPress dashboard. So let's do so. So from here, we're going to click on Add New, and then upload a theme, and then select the file that you downloaded, okay? So this is an archive, and once you extract it, you'll have to go into the folder Geeks, and then theme files, and then select geeks.zip, okay? Then open, install now. Very good, and now activate. And as you can see on top, we get a message here. We need to install a few plugins as well to go along with our theme. So all we have to do is click on Begin Installing Plugins, and then bulk select them all, okay? Bulk action install, and then apply. So it's going to start installing our 9 essential plugins. There you go, and now we need to activate them. So click on Return to Required Plugins Installer, and now bulk select them all, and bulk action this time is activate, okay? Then apply. So if you have an Elementor Pro account, you can log in and log into your account from here. I'm just going to skip this, okay? So we can exit out of this. So one more step here, as you can see, we need to activate table press. So click on that and then allow and continue. And that's basically it. We're all done now, okay? So now what we're going to do, the next step is to import the demo content. So we look exactly the same as the original website, which is going to make it so much easier for us as well. This way you'll have all the content pre-built as well, all the pages in place. And basically all we have to do is just to customize that and tweak things there and here and there, okay? So this is going to save us a lot of time, obviously. So for this, we go to Appearance and then Import Demo Data. Very good. So as you can see, you can import either just the home page or just landing course and so on and so on. So what we're going to do basically is to import the full demo. And if you hover on top, you'll find this button here, Import Demo. That's all we have to do now. Basically click on this. And then it's going to offer you to install a few more plugins. But as you can see, these are the actual ones that we deleted initially. So let's skip that step altogether. And now we go straight to continue and import. And there you go. As you can see, it started importing our content. Now be patient. It might take a few minutes even, like, you know. So what I'm going to do now is just pause the video here and I'll meet you guys again when it's completed. And there you go, guys, all done already. So that took maybe 3-4 minutes altogether. So let's go back to our front end and let's have a quick refresh and see what it looks like now. Okay, so let's have a quick look. Very good. And as you can see, the full demo content has been imported, and you have to be honest with me. Look at this. It looks fantastic, doesn't it? Very, very professional. Okay, so now let's customize our website. So we go back to our WordPress dashboard, and you may have noticed that we don't have any menus here altogether. So let's start with that, okay? So we go back to our WordPress dashboard, we go to Appearance, Menus. And right here on top, you can select different menus. You have social media, primary, footer 1, 2, and so on. So the one you need to select here is primary. Click Select. So these are all the items for our menu section. Now, if you scroll down the page, right at the bottom here, you will find a few different options that you can tick. So this one is nav bar, nav primary, and this is basically our primary menu that will display on top. So make sure you tick that box. And then if I remove myself here, you see this button here, save menu, click on this. Very good. And now we go back to the front end and refresh, and normally it should appear. There you go. Now we have our menu section. So we have all these different categories, landing pages. We have the different types of accounts. So we're going to use some of them, not all of them, obviously, you know, but they provided us with all these pages so we can make good use of them, obviously. So now let's create our courses, because this is the most important part, obviously, you know. So we go back to the WordPress dashboard, and as you can see by the side, we have Tutor LMS. And then we have all these tabs over the courses, the categories, tags, student, announcement, Q&A, and so on and so on. So we're going to go through all the steps one by one, okay? So the first step is to create our categories. So this type of website that we have here at the moment is mostly for web design and maybe programming and coding languages. Now, depending on the type of website you're going to build, you're going to create your categories here, okay? So how can you do so? Well, it's very easy. All you have to do is to put the name right here. So as you can see at the moment, we have a bit of everything. We have WordPress, React, Python, Node.js, and all that. So basically here we could maybe add something like WooCommerce, perhaps, okay? The slug, this is basically what you want to display behind the / in your URL. So maybe WooCommerce-coding, okay? You can even add a description. Again, this will help with SEO. You can add an image as well, but this is completely optional, and before courses as well. So basically just add new category. And if you go back to the top, you'll find WooCommerce right here with the slug, and also a count of 0 because we haven't added any courses to that category yet. But you can create as many as you want, obviously, you know. Now, if you wanted to, you can break this down into subcategories as well. So if you select here, for instance, WooCommerce, you can break this down in even smaller categories, like subcategories. So it could be WooCommerce and then plugins, then WooCommerce and then maybe themes, and so on and so on. And you can create as many categories as you want. So this is basically how you can create your categories. And once you have your categories, you can also create tags. So what are tags? As you can see, we have no tags here at the moment. It's basically like small keywords that will help your visitors find exactly what they're looking for. So again, if you go back to our categories here, as you can see, we have WordPress, we have WooCommerce now, and so on and so on. Maybe people will be looking for WooCommerce plugins, WooCommerce themes, or something even more specific. This is where your tags will come into play. So basically, this will help your visitors find exactly what they're looking for using specific keywords related to that category. So these are basically tags. Again, we're not using any here, but if you think this is useful to your audience, you might make use of it as well. Now, I'd just like to mention that we're using the free version of Tutor LMS, but there are paid version as well. So let me show you very quickly. So this is the one that we're using here. So it's completely free, but you have a version at $199 per year, $399 and $799. So depending on how serious you are about this business, you might want to invest a bit of money. So what's the difference between those plans? Very easy. As you can see, if you go down the page here, you'll have a comparison chart here. So basically you can see in the basic version, some features are not available. So you don't have the front course builder, drip course content, course preview, and course attachment option. So if this is something that you need, obviously you might have to purchase the next plan, obviously the next one up. This one, multi-instructor ready, automated student grading. So these might be features that you might require and need for your website. If this is the case, as always, I'll leave the link in the description below. So let's go back to our WordPress dashboard. So then next we can start creating our courses. So let's click on courses here. So you can see you have all these different courses. So these are all demo content, obviously, but I'm just going to open one here just to show you how they are being built and constructed, basically. Okay, so if you click on this, so right there on top, you have your title, you have your description here. So the description, it's like a text editor, basically, you know, like a word processing page. So you can just type your text, you can have the title here, you can change this to bold, you can change the size of the heading, italic, bullet points, add quotes and align left, right, and center, and even add links if you wanted to. So this is pretty self-explanatory, you know. And then right here underneath, you have your excerpt. So that's basically like a teaser, you know, just to show them exactly what's in there, because just the first few lines that they'll see when they go on the website. So by the side, as you can see here, we have all the different categories. So you need to select in which category this goes. So this is JavaScript, so that's fine. Just underneath, we have our tags. So there are no tags at the moment, but if you wanted to create some, you can just type here. Okay, so let's create a sample tag, for instance, and then add, and then example 2, okay, and then add. So you can put anything you want here that's related maybe to JavaScript itself, okay? And now let me put myself here by the side. And as you can see here behind me, there's an image here. So this is basically the featured image that they will see on the website itself. So let's go to the front end. As you can see, you have the image here, and that's exactly what they will see, okay? So this is the image. And if you click on it, well, basically this is the main image that will display on top of the course itself as well. So very important to make sure that you select a nice, lovely image as well. And if you scroll down here, you can select how many students you will accept, who can enroll basically, okay? So if you set it to 0, that's unlimited. Or maybe you want just maybe only 250 students, or maybe just 500 or whatever you want, you know? So that's really up to you. So if you set it to 0, as you can see, that means there are no limits. And then we have the difficulty level. Again, these are customizable. This is up to you, but I would leave them the way they are. It's absolutely fine, you know. So we have beginners, intermediate, and experts. So these are the usual ones normally. So is this a public course? Meaning this is there's no enrollment required. Basically, they just can access it immediately. And is there any Q&A section for the course? Yes or no? If this is the case, you can create question and answers as well. And then you have your course builder. So these are basically all your different sections. And if you open this, you have all the different lessons. So these are the different chapters. So course overview, JavaScript beginning, variables and constants, and so on and so on. So this is how it's broken down. And then each chapter has different lessons in it. And as you can see here, we have introduction, installing development software, and running JavaScript. So these are basically all the initial settings. And if you click on any of them, well, you have the course itself, basically, okay? And as you can see here, you can have an image, upload videos, etc., etc. So again, we're going to create our own courses ourselves. I'm going to show you all the steps one by one. So basically, as you can see here, what will I learn? And then targeted audience, total course duration in hours and minutes, and also material included. And now if you go to the front end, you will see it's right there as well. So if you scroll down, what's included, that's basically a quick overview of the content of the course. And this will help your visitors decide whether or not this is the right course for them, okay? So let's create our first course together. So we go back to the top and add new. So first step is to add the title of our course. So let's say how to create an e-commerce website in WordPress using WooCommerce. So this would be a very nice lesson, wouldn't it? So now I asked ChatGPT to create the content of the description here. I feel a bit too lazy these days. So with the course description here, I'm just going to copy and paste this. Okay, so Control-C and then Control-V here. There you go. So with the course description, maybe I put that in bold and italic and add a bit of spacing here. Like I said, it's just like a text editor, you know, very easy to follow. So there you go. This is our description. And now we can create the excerpt. So this should be normally the main, the most enticing part of this thing. So maybe this one here. Okay, so let's select maybe the first sentence on its own. There you go, that's perfect. So here, as you can see, we have the category. So this would go into WordPress and WooCommerce. This fit both categories actually, you know. And if you scroll down, we have tags. So maybe we could have no code, for instance, okay, no code required. Maybe drag and drop. And there you go with our few tags here. And then we can add the image. So for this, we're just going to upload our own image. So select file. So let's go. I found one here online. Okay. So set featured image. Very good. So that looks quite nice, you know. And then now we can take care of the course settings here. So how many students do you want to enroll? Again, if you set it to 0, that means there's no limit, unlimited. Which difficulty level? Let's say maybe this one is more for beginners. Okay. Is this a public course? Definitely not. We want to get paid for this, you know. And will we add a Q&A? Okay, let's enable this because I want to show you how this works. So right here with the course builder, we're not going to do that immediately. We're going to go straight to this information right there. Okay, so what will I learn? So let's fetch one of those sentences. So maybe this one is very nice. So Control-C, oops, Control-V, target audience, let's say beginners, okay? Total course duration, let's say 8 hours and 30 minutes. and material included. So this one is a bit more tricky. I'm going to show you exactly how to use this, okay? So for this, let me show you what it looks like in the front end. So if I scroll down, as you can see, we have an icon and then 12 hours video, an icon certificate, an icon 12 article, and so on. So how does this work? Well, let me show you the original article. That's what it looks like. As you can see, you have 12 hours, a pipe sign. So this is a pipe sign, this one here, you know, a straight line like this. And then with FE play, circle, text primary. So that looks a bit weird. So what is this exactly? Well, it's very simple. Let me show you, okay? So basically, instead of using flat awesome, the icons, they're using basically this one here, which is called feather icons, okay? So as you can see, you have a code here, FE activity, FE airplay. So if you want to display that icon here exactly the way it is, you can use that, and you have to type it this way, basically exactly like that, okay? And as you can see, we have text primary, text success, text info, text secondary, and text warning. So what does that mean? Well, if you look here, basically it's just the color of the icon itself. Okay, so warning will be orange, and then the purple one is primary, and so on. So let's do this together now. I'm just going to copy and paste this here, okay? Control C and then Control V. And now we can change the icon. So 12 hours of video. As you can see, this one is FE play circle. So Control C, I'm just going to look for it here, okay? Control F, play circle. As you can see, this is the one, exactly this, you know, it's the play button. Now, if you wanted to replace that by something else, maybe one of them here, you know, whatever it is that you want, all you have to do is just to copy the code here and then put it in the back end. So all you have to do is to click on it, okay, go back here, and instead of this one here, so highlight this and replace that with your own icon, FE server, okay? And then you have text primary, so that's basically the color, okay? So like we said, as you see here, if we go back here, this one is purple, this one is green, this one is blue, and so on. So again, this is really up to you, and you can use those text success or text info and so on. So now you can change the text here, obviously, you know. So instead of certificate, where we have this, maybe you can add as well, instead of watch offline or lifetime access, maybe instead of lifetime access, I'm going to put Q&A. So you have question and answers as well. So we can change the icon here. Instead of a clock, we can have something else. So let's have a quick look. Let's look maybe for, let's say message, maybe message. Yeah, message we have here. So as a bubble speech, you know, we could use this. So I have two different types. I'll go maybe for the square one here. So click on this, and then we can paste it again right here. Okay, so instead of FE clock, we'll have FE message square, and then text warning. That's fine as well. So here we could add one per line, as you can see. So hosting required. Obviously, you know, domain name registration, and then maybe WordPress as well. Okay, so WordPress with a capital P. Very good. So now we go straight to the top now and publish. Just save it, just in case. Okay, and now we can add our courses. But first, let's have a quick look at what it looks like in the front end. So click on this button here, preview changes, and you will see it looks absolutely fantastic already. So this is our title here. This is our teaser. So this is the excerpt. As you can see, 8 hours and 30 minutes, 0 students enrolled, no ratings yet, and this is for beginners. So we have our main picture here, WooCommerce. It is free at the moment. We're going to add the price later. This is our full description. Okay, show more. There you go. And as you can see here, we have all the details related to our course. So 12 hours, as you can see, we changed the icon here and this one as well with the Q&A. So as you can see, this is working fine. This is our requirements. So we said hosting required and so on. These are our tags. This is the audience, what I will learn. And this is the instructor. And David Gary has 132 students, 32 courses, and 124 reviews. So that looks very promising already, doesn't it? Okay, so let's carry on with our course. Okay, so for this, we scroll down the page and we go to the course builder. So let's build our course. Okay, so this is the main part, obviously. Okay, so we're going to add a new topic. So topic name and topic summary. So let's go back to ChatGPT with all the course outline, you know, so you can create it, obviously the outline the way you want it. It's just easier for us. So we have here the outline itself. So this is the title. So this is the categories, the chapter, sorry. And these are all the lessons underneath. Okay, so very easy for us. So let's create the first one. So our course topic name, there you go. So as you can see, topic titles are displayed publicly wherever required. Each topic may contain one or more lessons. So that's basically the main topic, okay? So chapters, if you want. And then you have the summary. So you can add something here. I'm just going to leave it the way it is, okay? So let's add topic. Very good. And now we can add the lessons and the quizzes as well. So first, let's add our lessons. So let's click on this. So as you can see, lesson name. So the first one will be overview of WordPress and its benefit for e-commerce. Oops. So let's copy this here. Okay. Very good. And now we can put the content of the lesson as well. So something short, you know, so maybe something, learn why WordPress is the ideal platform for e-commerce and discover its benefit in just one lesson. Okay, so right here, as you can see, you can add a featured image. Now be careful, it's only 700 by 430 pixels. You cannot go over that size. This is the maximum, obviously, you know. And then you can add a video. So nowadays, I suppose people are more interested in watching a video. It's more interactive than seeing a picture, obviously, you know. So as you can see at the moment, you have no video source selected from your settings. So what we need to do now is to go back to the WordPress dashboard and update that first. Okay, so I'm going to show you a few of the most important settings. So we go back to Tutor LMS and then settings. And to enable the video, you go to design. And then scroll down the page, and as you can see right here, we have the video player. So let me move myself. So you have a toggle switch here. So use Tutor Player for YouTube, which is mostly the most common one, I suppose, you know. Now, if you want to use Vimeo, same again, you can just enable that. Or you can enable both, you know, either way is absolutely fine. So you have a few different settings here. As you can see, you have the course details. You can enable Q&A, which is the case for us, you know. So we want to enable that as well. And you have all these different options. This is really up to you. Do you want to have a description? Do you want a progress bar? Do you want to display the duration? Do you want to show the levels and so on? So again, everything is very easily customizable from here. As you can see, you can select the layout as well of all your pages. So let's say you want the layout of your instructors. Maybe you want it to display this way, maybe like a cover, maybe minimal, or maybe horizontal, and the same with internal pages. So this is easily configurable and customizable from here. And right here, you have all the options for the courses themselves. So how many do you want to display? Just one, maybe 2 or 3 or 4. At the moment, it's 3 per row, which is absolutely fine. Again, this is just a matter of preferences, you know. So next, a very important step, we go to general and make sure to enable marketplace. So use the toggle switch here, and this will allow multiple instructors to upload their own courses. So this is basically what you want. If you want to build a website like Udemy, Coursera, or Skillshare, that's exactly what you need to do, okay? Another option here, enable instructor to publish the course directly. So if disabled, admins will be able to review the courses before the content is published. So this is really up to you. If you want to add an added extra measure of safety, just in case before they go live, you can enable this as well. Okay, and next we go to course and straight to the bottom of the page, and you'll find preferred video sources. So right here, we're going to select YouTube and Vimeo. Now you can select external URL as well if you wanted to, or maybe HTML5 if you want to upload your own MP4 file. Again, this is really up to you. So that's all we need for the videos. Now we'll be able to play them on our website. And right here by the side, as you can see, you have monetization. So at the moment, we don't have any prices. The courses are just free. You can access them. Obviously, I suppose you want to make money from this. So how does that work? Well, basically, you select your e-commerce engine. In our case, it will be WooCommerce. And when this is the case, how do you want to make money? How are you going to get paid? Now you have to select this, obviously, you know. So because this plugin is linked to WooCommerce, WooCommerce is an e-commerce platform that works with WordPress. You can also enable automatically complete WooCommerce orders. I would highly recommend you do so. Enable revenue sharing. Again, this is really up to you. As you can see, allow revenue generated from selling courses to be shared with course creators. So this is only in the case if you open this as a marketplace, obviously, you know. And then if you scroll down the page, you will decide how you can withdraw the money. So basically, if you have vendors, they will make money from your website. How do you want to wire the money? Maybe by bank transfer, e-check, or PayPal. So again, as always, don't forget to click Save Changes. And that's basically it for now. So now we can go back to our page. So we're just going to save our lesson for now. So update lesson. Okay, let's go back to the top and let's update our page. So we're going to save the whole course for now. And now if you scroll down the page, well, basically we can now access everything, the course builder, with the videos included. So if you expand here, you have our lesson. Now we can edit. Very good. And as you can see, immediately here, we have the lesson title, we have the description like we did, You can upload the image, and now we have the video source. So this is the most important one, obviously, you know. So select the source. We're going to say YouTube. Here we can paste the URL. Okay, so let's paste this here. So I found one that's related to WooCommerce anyways, you know. So video playback time, I think this one is about an hour. So I'm going to put 1 hour, 5 minutes and 12 seconds, for instance. Okay, so that's basically it. No, so now we can update the lesson. So this is lesson 1, and now we can create lesson 2. So we do the same again with lesson 2. So basically you create the lesson. So let's go back here. We said the second one is this. So Control C and then Control V. Okay. And then we're going to put the content of our lesson here. So let me fetch the content here. I had it ready. So Control C, Control V. And again, we're going to add our video. So let's select YouTube. So let's insert another video. And this one, I think, is 55 minutes, so 0 hours, 55 minutes and 32 seconds. Okay, so update lessons. And then let's go back to the top and update. And let's have a quick preview. Okay, so we go back here and refresh. Very good. So now, as you can see, we have the curriculum of our lesson, our course here. So we have 2 different sections. We have Introduction to WooCommerce and WordPress and WooCommerce. And then, as you can see, Overview of WordPress and its benefit for e-commerce. And then Understanding the Fundamentals of WooCommerce and its features. So these are basically 2 videos with the length all included. And then basically your visitors know exactly what to expect. So let's put this to the test now, because it is free. As you can see, all we have to do is click on this button here, Enroll Course. And there you go. As you can see now, we are now enrolled and in this course because it's free again, you know. So we can start learning. As you can see, there's a button here. And here it is basically a quick overview of the different lessons. You can go from one lesson to the other, or you can click on Start Learning. So click on this. And there you have it. As you can see, this is the content of our lesson. So here, this is the description, and this is the video that we can watch. And right here on top, as you can see, you can mark it as complete, or you can go to the next one here, okay? So let's pretend we've watched it. So we're going to mark this as complete. So this is 50% of the lesson done now of this chapter. And then we can watch the second one, and we can mark it as complete as well. So if you move to the next stage here, there you go. Now we can mark this as complete. And that's basically it. Now we've seen everything, and the lesson is completed, okay? Now you can go to your own account here. If you click on your profile picture here, you go to settings, and you will have access to everything. As you can see, your dashboard, your profile, the course you're enrolled in, your wish list review. So basically everything is right there, easily accessible for you. So if you click on enrolled courses, this is where you'll find it. And as you can see, this is the latest one we enrolled in. And you have the active courses and completed courses. So from your students' point of view, this is what they'll see basically, okay? So if you click on your courses again, you can go back to it. And as you can see, the courses status now is set to 100% complete. So this is basically how this works. Okay, so now let's add a quiz. So what is a quiz? Basically, a series of questions basically to see if they basically learned everything from this chapter, okay? And then you can define if you want that quiz to allow them to move on to the next chapter or not. This is optional as well. So let's create a quiz together. So let's say here, basic knowledge maybe, okay? And you can type the summary. So save and next. So let's add a question, okay? So let's ask maybe, is WooCommerce a plugin? Question mark, okay? And then here you can have true or false, single choice, multiple choice, maybe request to fill in the blanks or open-ended. So let's go with true or false, okay? That's an easy one. The answer might be required. And then basically how many points do you want to assign? So let's add maybe 2 questions here, and they're both 50 points. They're worth 50 points each, okay? So let's say the right answer is true. Yeah, it is a plugin, okay? And then let's add the question. So let's add a second one. So is WordPress compatible with WooCommerce? Okay, and then we're going to go with the true or false again. You know, let's keep it simple. Answer is required, and again, is 50 points for this. And we're going to display the points, and this time the option is true as well. Very good. So I just noticed, let me edit this, that we forgot to display the points for this one as well. That's good, okay? So that's it, add the question. So we have our 2 questions now, so we can save this. Now, do you want to limit this to a certain time? I suppose only 2 questions, maybe 5 minutes, you know? and then you can enable this to show in the quiz time as well. So quiz, feedback mode, so default, reveal mode, or retry mode. So basically here, what's the difference? Well, basically answers is shown after the quiz is finished. This one is show the result after the attempt, and this one is to reattempt everything if they failed, basically. Okay, so this is really up to you. So let's go with the default mode, and the passing grade should be at least 80%. In our case here, with only 2 questions, so it should be 50%, but anyways, we'll keep it at that. Okay, so maximum questions allowed to answer, let's say here probably 2, because we only have 2. And then you have the advanced settings. So right here we have the quiz auto start, so this will basically automatically start the quiz once they've completed the 2 lessons. That's up to you again. You can hide the number of questions and so on. Okay, so we'll just keep it by default, so save and go to the next one. So that's it, our quiz is done now. So if you go back to the top and update, and let's go back to our front end and refresh. Okay, so as you can see now it's 60% complete. Why is that? Because we haven't completed the quiz yet. Okay, so as you can see, I have basic knowledge here. So if you click on this, there you go, now we can start the quiz. Okay, so click on this. Okay, is WordPress compatible with WooCommerce? That's true. And is WooCommerce a plugin? That's true. Submit quiz. And there you go. As you can see, we passed and we were successful. So that's basically how this works. Obviously, it'd be more complex than this, but I'm just showing you all the essential steps how to create that for your visitors. Okay, now let's address the pricing here. So basically at the moment it is free, and obviously you'd like to get paid for this. So we can select this option here, paid, in which case you have to select a product. So which product is this? Well, that's basically a WooCommerce product. Okay, as you can see here, process by WooCommerce. So WooCommerce is here by the side, just underneath you have the product. If you right click on this, open in a new tab, these are all your WooCommerce products. So there's only one at the moment. So what we're going to do is to create one ourselves. Okay, so we can close this for now and let's add a new product. Okay, so first let's add our title here. So how to create an e-commerce website with WordPress we're using WooCommerce. So that should be basically the same as the lesson itself, the course itself. Okay, so it is a simple product, and put the price of $59.99, and maybe it is on sale at $44.99. Okay, so it's very simple to use. As you can see, you have to select the category, so uncategorized, and then we're going to select an image as well, product image. So select the same image that you use for your course. So set product image, and that's basically it. That's all we've done already. So click publish, and we've created our product now. So if you go back to our course, okay, now we need to refresh, obviously, for this to take effect. So now click on paid, select the product, and as you can see, we have our product here. Okay, so click on this. Let's go back up and update. Very good. So now we can go have a look in the front end. And as you can see, enrolled courses, we have WooCommerce right here. And this one is $44.99. It was normally $59.99. So this one, obviously, we already enrolled. But if you weren't, you have to go through the checkout process and purchase it, obviously, you know. So let me show you in an incognito page. So basically, I'm not logged in. So let's look for WooCommerce. There it is. And as you can see, $44.99. If I click on it, this is basically what your visitors will see, you know. So now basically you have to add to cart, you have to purchase it before you can proceed. They can now create a cart, sign up, and go through the checkout process. Okay, so now that we've created our courses, we need to configure WooCommerce so you can get paid, obviously, you know. So for this, we go to WooCommerce, we go to settings, and the first step here, the general tab, you're going to type your address. So from here, we're just going to enter our details. So 123, and then the street name, maybe, you know, and then the city. So I'm just going to put New York for now. And then United States, I'm going to look for New York. There you go. And then the postcode 10011. So where are you selling to? But I suppose this is digital goods, so probably everywhere, you know, to all countries worldwide. Now you can restrict that to some countries if you don't want to, you know. So shipping locations, well, technically you're selling digital goods, so there is no shipping, okay? So disable shipping and shipping locations. Now, if you're VAT registered or maybe a tax registration based on your country, you can enable this as well. So I'm going to show you how you can set this up. Do you want to enable the use of coupon code? It's a very nice marketing trick as well to get more sales. So I would highly recommend you do so. And then here you select your currency. So it could be US dollars, maybe euros or British pounds, you know, and then click Save Changes. And then we're going to go set our taxes. So if you're registered for VAT and taxes, well, basically you have to set this up here, you know. So how we enter the price in the basically here price entered with tax. So this is in the back end. When you create the product, we put the price was $59.99. So this should be normally inclusive of tax. Okay, displaying in the shop. So this should be including tax. This one including tax, and this is all relevant as you can see. Okay, so save changes, and now we're going to set our tax rate. So you click on standard rates, and now we're going to add our a row. Okay, so insert. So country code. So let's say you're based in the United States and you're selling worldwide. Well, depending where you're shipping to, you might have to add taxes or not. So if you're within the United States, I'm just going to put US here, USA. Okay, so now we need to select United States. You can break this down by state code as well. And let's set the rate. I believe in the United States is 10% tax. And we're going to put US 10% right here, okay? And then save changes. Now, if you are under certain laws worldwide, maybe if you're selling within Europe, certain countries, you need to add a different rate or whatever, you can create different rows and apply all these taxes. Again, this is depending on where you're based, where you're located, and where you're selling to. But again, I would highly recommend you consult your accounting company, accounting firm that's doing your accounts for you, and they'll have you sorted out with this. Now, the most important part is the payment. So let's go to payments now, and we're going to set our payment method. So as you can see, by default, we have 4 different methods here. They're all disabled. So you have the cash on delivery, check payment, and direct bank transfer. So clearly, this is not suitable for this type of project. Obviously, you want to get paid directly, maybe via PayPal or Stripe, which are the more common ones, okay? So as you can see, you have WooCommerce here, payment. And you get paid by Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Google Pay, and Apple Pay. So basically, this is using Stripe. So what they'll do is add an extra fee on top. So I would not recommend you use this one at all. So I'm going to show you how you can install your own payment gateway. So for this, we go to plugins, add new, and you might right click on this and open in a new tab once more. And right here, you're going to type WooCommerce and then the payment method that you want to install. So let's say WooCommerce Stripe, WooCommerce Apple Pay, WooCommerce maybe PayPal or whatever, okay? So I'm just going to install Stripe here as an example because it's a very popular one. So WooCommerce and then Stripe. There you go. And as you can see, you have a few different options here. And this one is by WooCommerce themselves. And then you have all different options, So this is really up to you which one you want to install. Check how many active installations. As you can see, this one, 100,000 active installations. You can read the reviews as well and make sure you pick the right one, okay? So I'm just going to go with this first one here, 900,000 plus, almost 1 million installs. So install now. And you would do the same with any of them, obviously, and then activate. And now if you go back to our payment methods here and refresh, as you can see now we have all these additional payment methods that were added thanks to that plugin. So now we want to use Stripe. So this one here, okay? So we're going to click on this and we're going to configure this. So basically here it's going to ask us to go through a few different steps. We have to connect our Stripe accounts, which is what we're going to do. So create or connect an account. And here you have to select the company. So our business is called Everything Custom Built Limited. So this is our actual real Stripe account, okay? So what we're going to do now is just click on this and connect and then follow the different steps. Obviously, there are a few personal questions I cannot show here on screen. So I'll meet you guys again when this is completed. So there you go. That's all done already. So what I'm going to do is to enable the test mode. So this will allow you to type a certain card is 42424242. Any date in the future and any 3 CVV code. Okay, so this is going to help us basically test the platform and make sure that payments are going through. And then scroll down the page and right here, as you can see, I have save changes. Click on that. And that's us done for the payment method. And now we can actually run a real test. Okay, so let's do this together. So what I'm going to do is to open this in a different browser altogether because I'm already logged in the other one, obviously, so there's no interference here. So let's type WooCommerce. We see you have the course here. And if you add to cart now, and now let's sign up, okay? So let's create an account, okay? So our first name, I'm just going to put John Doe, username John Doe, and then enter your email address and password and click register. Very good. So I'm going to save this. Perfect. Very good. So now we're ready to go and proceed to checkout. So now we've registered, we can add to cart. Okay, very good. View cart. And then from here, proceed to checkout. Okay, now we can enter our details. So I'll do that very quickly. There you go. And now we scroll down the page, and as you can see, we have the payment method. Again, like I said, you can enter a fake card number. So it's 424242, all 42s basically, okay? Just like this. Any date expiry in the future, so maybe 10/28, and any CVC code, so 123 for instance, okay? And then place order. There you go. So thank you, your order has been received. So we have the confirmation here, okay? So now if we go back to our WordPress dashboard, so back here now we go to WooCommerce and the orders right here, okay? And as you can see, we have the order here. So it was placed 1 minute ago. So David Garrett, click on this. Very good. So this is the details. So we have how to create an e-commerce website and all the payment steps. As you can see, payment intent created, order status changed from pending to processing, processing to complete, and then Stripe charge complete. Obviously, this is a test account here, but if you were to go live, obviously you would have been paid $44.99 already. And then you also have the Stripe fee right here, and this is basically your balance after that, $42.83. So very easy to follow even from an accounting point of view, okay? And now from the customer's point of view, they can access their dashboard immediately from here. And as you can see, all our courses here, enrolled courses. And there's the one. So now if I click on it, I can start the course, I can start learning. So this is basically how you can get paid for your courses and only allow access after the payment has been processed. Now, obviously, once you've done and you've tested everything thoroughly, don't forget to go back here in Stripe and disable the test mode, obviously, you know, and this way you go live and get paid for real. Okay, so next step now, let's take care of our homepage and maybe a few internal pages as well. I'm going to show you how you can edit this and make it your own, okay? So for this, again, we go back to our WordPress dashboard, and this time we go to pages. As you can see, you have all these different pages here, I think 33 in total. So I'll try to locate the home page. You should find it here. It says home. And you will know this is the one because it says front page Elementor next to it, okay? Now we need to edit this. If you hover on top, you have edit, quick edit, and edit with Elementor. This page was created using Elementor, so that's what we're going to do, okay? So right click on this, open in a new tab. And the reason why I do this is because you have the front end, we have the back end, and now we also have Elementor. So you can go from one page to the other. It's much easier, okay? So basically, this is Elementor. So how does this work? It's a drag and drop page builder. So by the side, you have all the different elements, which are called widgets, and you can drag and drop them on your page. So this is the quick overview of your page. As you can see, if I hover here, we have a section. So this is a section, and each section is made out of columns. As you can see, we have 2 different columns here, and every column contains a certain widget. So this one is a heading. This one is a heading as well. This one is a button, okay? And this one is an image. So very simple. And then to change the content of each widget, all you have to do is click on it. And by the side, you have the content of the widget, and you can stylize every aspect of it as well. So that's basically how this works, okay? So let's change our hero section here. Again, this is the most important part of your homepage because this is the first message that your visitors will see. So you want to be sure that you spend a bit of time on this, thinking about the message you want to put across, okay? So as you can see here, we have a main heading. So if you click on this, this is the text here. So welcome to Geeks UI Learning Application. Now you might want to change this to fit your own business model. So let's change this maybe to, let's say maybe something simple, you know, so web design, coding, and programming courses. Try to keep it as simple as possible for the heading. Basically, the main message you want to convey. So here, if you were to land on this website and read this, web design, coding, and programming courses, you have no doubt whatsoever what the website is about, okay? And now we have our subheading as well. So the subheading is in addition to your main heading. So basically here you need to bring all the benefits, maybe, you know, and what's important, why they should choose you over anyone else, okay? So let's change this maybe to something else. Let's say, maybe something like this, you know, become an expert in your field and access higher paid jobs. So this is basically the hidden benefit. Why would people want to learn web design or coding or programming? Obviously, is to get a better job and get paid a bit more money, obviously, you know. So this could be one way to emphasize exactly what the main benefit of learning from your platform would bring to them, okay? So right here we have 2 different buttons, so we could link this to 2 different places. So I have browse courses, okay? So now we could link this basically to an internal page. So if you go back here and browse web development and bootstrap, as you can see, of all the different categories. So if you untick all of them, basically they'll see all the different courses and then they can narrow down their searches. So what we can do is basically use that page here, okay? So Control C, and right here where it says link, paste it there, that's all. And now you can change the color as well, you can select the default colors, secondary, primary, as you can see, is different colors. Maybe you want it to be red, maybe it's a bit better, okay? Now, are you an instructor? That's really up to you. You can have it there. The more you don't want to put too many buttons and call to actions. So ideally you want maybe 2 call to action maximum, So the first one, browse courses, because you want them to purchase, but you also want maybe people to register on your website or something like this. If this is the case, you can add a button here. Again, if you go back to the front end, go to account instructor and dashboard. Basically to access this page, they will have to sign in or register. Okay, so we're going to do this. So Control C. And now you're going to replace the link with that one. That's basically it, okay? Very simple indeed. Now we have our image here. So if you click on this, you can replace that with your own image. So I found one of myself online. So just this one here, open. And then you can see here a button that says select. Click on this. Very good. So now it's been added. And then you can resize it manually as well. If you go here like this, as you can see, I can change the size, I can make it bigger, smaller, you can move it left to right. So if you wanted to have my finger pointing right there at the message, I could put it here, or something like that. So that's really up to you again, to do that accordingly based on the image you have, obviously, And then when it comes to the height as well, as you can see, you might want to add a little bit of spacing on top because my head is touching here. So if you click on the section itself, you go to advanced, we can add a little bit of padding on top. So you're going to unlink the values here and we're going to add a little bit of padding. As you can see, a bit of breathing space, maybe 35. That's a lot better already, okay? Now, if you wanted to change the background color, let me show you how to do that. Now, as you can see here, it has its own CSS class, background primary, and this is why you have that color here in the background. So this is basically hard-coded in the theme itself. Now, if you remove this, you'll be able to add your own color. So if I remove that altogether, as you can see, there's no color anymore. Now we can go to style, add a background color. So select this. You can also add a gradient color if you wanted to. And let's select a color, okay? So let's say our website is mostly, we go with blue maybe or something like that, okay? A nice blue, maybe a shade of blue like this. That's fine, okay? So this is your own color now. And you can also have a gradient. So you could go maybe from blue to maybe a dark purple or something like this, okay? And you can change the angle as well, as you can see, this is basically going from purple on that side and then bluish on that side. So again, it's really up to you the way you want to design it. I think it looks fine the way it is now. Okay, so let's move on to the next section. So here underneath we have the main important features of your website that you want to emphasize, obviously, So we have our main message here. Who is it intended to? What you're going to get out of it? And then here maybe a few stats, just to establish trust and authority as well. As you can see, 30,000 online courses. That's maybe a lot, but maybe you can change this to the actual amount of courses that you have. So how can you do so? I click on the text here again, and you can go and change this here, So maybe 897 online courses, and here enjoy a variety of fresh topics on web design, something like this, whatever. Now you have an icon here by the side, okay? So if you click on this, as you can see, we have a camera here. So that's not maybe the best because it's online courses. So maybe you can click on this and change this, and you can select among all these different options here, okay? So let's say maybe I'm going to look for list, okay? And I'm going to select maybe this one here, insert. Very good. And now you can change the background color as well, because this is a pastel beige, or I don't know, doesn't fit really our heading here. So you can click on this and you have primary and secondary color. So the secondary color is for the text and primary is the background. So you might want to change this, and let's select maybe a purple again, okay? And we're going to select white for the icon. There you go. That's a lot better already. And then we can do the same with the others. Very good. So that's done now. So don't forget to click update from time to time as well, just to save your work, just in case, And then we scroll down the page, and here we have all our different courses. As you can see, I have 3 different sections: recommended to you, most popular, and trending. Now you can have it this way, or maybe you can create different sections, maybe web design, and then coding, programming, you know, because these are the 3 main sections that we are promoting here in our main heading. So for instance, you could have here, instead of recommended for you, you could have web design courses, okay? And then how do you select web design courses? Well, basically, if you click on this section here, click on this, okay? As you can see, how many slides per view and how many slides to scroll. And then we have the additional options here. So do you want to show the arrows by the side? I suppose you should normally, you know. Do you want it to autoplay, in which case it will play automatically? I don't think that's a nice feature, but that's really up to you. Infinite loop, that means if you want to display 8 of them, if showing 4 and then 4, then it goes back to the same 4 as an infinite loop, you know. And then you have the query. So this is basically where you will display all your courses and select your courses, sorry, okay? So as you can see, you have a few different courses. If you wanted to add one, all you have to do is start typing away. So click on the box here, and then you can type, okay? So we have WooCommerce, for instance, okay? And there you go. Now we can add our WooCommerce course. And as you can see, it's been added here. So that's basically how this works, okay? And then you can order by date, by title, and random order, and then descending or ascending. So again, this is really up to you to organize this the way you want, okay? So let's click update. And then basically after this, you can do the same with the other sections, you know, you can change most popular to another section and then change the content here, click on this, and again, go to the query and then add the courses you want to add. Now you could also select a full category if you wanted to. You have courses. If I click courses, include or exclude. So we're going to include, okay, by term or author. So let's say by term, and the term would be your category. So if I was to select WooCommerce, for instance, this is our category here. It will only show products from the WooCommerce category. Obviously, we only have one here because we created only one in that category. But if you were to select another category, it would be absolutely fine. It would display all the products from there, obviously, you know. So let's try to add Bootstrap, for instance. There you go. We can add this one. And there you go. Now we have a lot more products because there's 12 different lessons, courses in that category, okay? And then all you have to do, again, like I said, is click update. And that's basically it, you know, and then you can add as many as you want. Now, let's say you only want 2 rows here, this one and maybe most popular, and you don't need trending here. So how can you do so? Well, you see you have the column here, right click on it, then delete. There you go. Now you only have 2 rows. That's basically it. Now, if you made a mistake, oh my goodness, what am I going to do now? Well, you can always go back in time. If you click on this button here where it says history, courses carousel, go 1 step backwards. And there you go, it's back now again, as you can see, trending. Now, let's say you wanted 4 rows, so you want to add another one. Well, basically, right-click on this and now duplicate. And that's going to add a 4th one, okay? And you can add as many as you want, obviously. You might have maybe 1 row for each categories of your website, whichever you want, okay? And that's basically it. So I'm just going to delete this one for now. So let's delete. And that's basically it for the homepage. So let's click update. Okay, very good. So let's have a quick look in the front end, make sure everything's okay. So there you go. As you can see, I have a new heading, call to action button, a new picture here, our main 3 points, and then all our courses. So that's basically how you can design your homepage. Now, let me show you one more thing. Basically here, you can also design that specifically for mobile phones because obviously a lot of people will access it on mobile. As you can see by the side, you have this button here, responsive mode. If you click on this, on top, you can select the type of device. So you have desktop, tablets, and also mobile portrait. So if you click on this, this is basically how most people will hold their phones, you know, in their hands. And this is what it looks like. So now if you wanted to make some changes, specifically for mobile, well, you can do so right here. So maybe on mobiles, you don't want to show this button here, or maybe you want them to be centered in the middle. You can do all these changes specifically just for mobile, okay? So if I was to click on this one here, okay, there you go. As you can see, if you go to styling, now everything will be only for mobile. You see, this is mobile portrait. So every styling feature you're going to apply to this button will only apply and be taken into consideration when displaying on mobile phones and not on desktops. So let's say if you wanted to center all the elements here, you click on the column itself and then horizontal align. Again, as you can see, that's for mobile portrait. and put it in center. And there you go. Now on mobile, it will display this way, okay? And then you can do the same with the heading here. So basically, if you click on the heading itself, and then right here we have alignment, and again, it's just for mobile portrait, and then you can select center, okay? And you can do the same with this one. Again, alignment, and then center. So click update. Very good. And now if you go back to the desktop version, as you can see, this is not centered at all. But if you go on mobile phones, it's all centered absolutely perfectly in the middle. And this is how you can make changes. And then you can apply that to any sections of your website and do the same, obviously, you know. So once you're done, basically, again, and don't forget to click update. And that's us done for the homepage. Okay, so now let me show you how you can change the contact page as well. All the other pages, you can edit them the exact same way we just did, you know, using Elementor is the same principle throughout the whole website, basically. But the contact page, I'm going to show you how to customize it because we also have a contact form attached to it, which is right here, okay? So let's do this together. So we go back to our pages here and we look for contact. There it is. So right click, open in a new tab. Very good. So as you can see, this is basically your content. So that's very easy to change. All you have to do is click on that and change the content right here. If you wanted to change the font size, basically it's here in typography. Click on this and then you can select your size, your font, and change the size and everything. So that's pretty self-explanatory, very easy. And it's the same here underneath. You have these different sections. So these are icon list. So as you can see, you can add an icon for a phone, put some text next to it. How does this work? But very simply, you select your icon, click on this, select among all these different icons here, and then you can add some text just next to it right there, okay? So if you wanted to add one, for instance, maybe you want to add maybe a second email address or maybe a mobile phone maybe, okay? So what you can do is basically duplicate this. There you go. Now we have a phone. And you can maybe look for a mobile phone this time, okay? So let's look for mobile. And we have two different icons. So let's select maybe this one here, okay? So insert. And then you can change the number right here. So maybe plus 0123 8965 and then 8856 or something like that, okay? So there you go. Now we have the mobile number as well, and then you can add the email and your address or whatever it is, okay? So this is basically how this works, very easy. And then let me show you with the form here. So this is the most important one. If you click on this, as you can see, you have this long HTML code and everything. I don't like it at all. So I'm going to show you a much easier way to do so, and when you can have a complete overview of the emails coming in and out, okay? So for this, we go back to our WordPress dashboard. We're going to go to plugins and add new. And right here in the search box, look for form. And this is the one, WP form. Or you can type WP form all at once as well, all the same, you know? There you go. So this is the one we're going to install. It's a very easy drag and drop form builder, much easier than going into HTML coding and all that, okay? There you go. Now activate. So that's perfect. And now by the side, as you can see, we now have a new tab here, WP form, going to all forms. And now, as you can see, there are no forms, obviously, because it's a new plugin we just installed. So we're going to create our own form. So create form. And you can start afresh with a blank form and add all the fields that you want. But we're going to make our life easier. No, we're just going to use a simple contact form. Usually what you need is the person's name, his email address, and maybe a message. And that's basically it. Okay, so let's click Use Template. Very good. So as you can see, name a first name, last name. That's really up to you. For me, I just name. I wouldn't go with first name, last name. But if you click on it, as you can see, you can ask first name, last name. I'm just going to go simple here. Name, okay? Whatever it is. Keep it simple, you know. And then email address. And as you can see, if you click on any of them, you can make them required and mandatory. Obviously, you need the email address to reply. You will need the name as well. And you will need the message, definitely, you know. So I would make it required as well. So click Save. Very good. And now we're going to our settings and make sure that we are going to receive the message. Okay, so we go to Notifications. And right here, as you can see, it says admin email. So this is basically a variable that will fetch the email address that you used when you registered and when you set up the WordPress website. Now, if you want to send this to a different email address, you can simply delete this and put your own email address. Now, as you can see, we get a warning message. Normally, the email address should belong to the same domain name that you're using to build your website. So in our case here, is mrwebreviewstutorials.com. So I'm just type this here. I'm going to say, for instance, info@ and then my email address, okay? And we're going to do the same here from email, so info at, and then my own email address, okay? And as you can see now, the error message is gone because the email belongs to the same domain name, okay? Now, if you want to use an email address that doesn't belong to your domain name, you will have to add an additional plugin called SMTP for WordPress. And you have to set that up with your credentials, basically from your hosting company, from Hostinger. So that's basically it, but it's much easier this way. So that's basically all we need for now. And then you have the confirmation as well. And here you can change the message. So once they click submit and the message is gone, they will see this. So thanks for contacting us. We will be in touch with you shortly. Now you can customize this to whatever you want, okay? So let's save this. Now we come out of this, exit. Very good. And right here, as you can see, we have a short code. Oops, sorry, here, a short code, okay? Now copy this. So Control C. And now we go back to our contact page and we are going to delete this thing altogether. Delete. And now, oops, let me put myself on the other side. So now we're going to look for short code here. There it is, drag and drop. And now fill this and paste your shortcode right there. And as you can see, now we have our contact form. That's basically it. So let's click update. Now we go back here. Let's refresh our page. And there you go. As you can see, now we have our new contact form. So basically here, just type your name. So maybe John Doe. Email address. So I'm going to say john.doe@gmail.com and the message right here. Okay. And then submit. And there you go. Thanks for contacting us. We will be in touch with you shortly. So this is basically how you can customize your contact page. Okay, so now let's take care of the finishing touches. So let's change our logo here. And also I'm going to show you how to customize the menu here to only have the items that you want. Okay, so for this, let's go back to the WordPress dashboard. And from here, we go to appearance and then customize. And we're going to change our logo basically, okay? So right here, as you can see, this is the logo in the menu, so we can edit this. So right here, we have the site identity. So logo. So here we can select our logo. At the moment, it's just displaying the title. So I could type maybe Mr. Web as well. It will show Mr. Web. That's really up to you. Okay. Or we can simply upload our actual logo. Okay. So for this, select logo. So I already have it uploaded here in our library and then click select. So we can skip cropping here. Very good. And as you can see, it is massive, you know, so that's way too big, you know, so you want to change this. So how can we do so? I click again on the logo itself, click on this and then edit image. As you can see, 2084 by 425. It shouldn't be more than 85 pixels in height, maybe 110, you know. So let's try this. So edit image. And you can do this within WordPress itself, okay? So as you can see, we have the size here. So let's try maybe by, let's say 92 pixels. So it'd be 451 by 92, so scale down. Very good. This is what it looks like at that size. So it's still a little bit big, maybe 75 by 368. Okay, maybe by 72. Let's try, okay? Scale. That's fine. Let's keep it like this. Now click update right here. That's fine. So this is our new logo. Okay. And now if you go back here and refresh our page, reload. Very good. So we go to site identity, select logo, and then select our known logo. As you can see, nice 353 by 72, and then select, skip cropping. And there you go. That's a lot better already. So after this, just click publish. And that's basically it. That's us done for this. And now let's change the menu section. So let's go back to the front end and refresh just in case, you know, just to make sure. There you go. We have our logo here. And now we're going to change our menu section here. Okay. So let's go back to our WordPress dashboard. This time we go to appearance, menus. And again, make sure you select the primary nav bar menu. Okay. So select. And there they are. You have all these different items here, part of your menu. Obviously, a lot of them you don't need, you know. So what you can do is just scroll down the page, or you can create a new one altogether. That's really up to you, and then assign it as the main navigation bar, okay? So this is really up to you. There are two ways of doing it. You can either bulk select and then delete everything that you don't need, basically, okay? And then click remove selected items, and there you go. This is what we have now, okay? These items are gone now. But what I would recommend you do is probably to create your own menu. It's probably easier, you know. So untick this
navbar, nav primary, and then save menu. And now right here on top, we can create a new one, okay? So give it a name, so your menu name, okay? And this is going to be our navbar primary menu, and then create menu. And then right here, we can add any of those items. As you can see, I have instructor registration, student registration. These are all pages, okay? You can also add post. You can have custom links. You can add categories and WooCommerce endpoints. So what do we need here technically? Well, it is all courses that we're selling here, isn't it? So we're going to add all our different categories maybe. So they're not visible here. So what you have to do is to click on this item here, screen option. And right here, as you can see, you have course categories. So tick that. And now if you scroll down the page, you have all the course categories. There you go. JavaScript, Bootstrap, WordPress, React, Python, and so on. So what we're going to do first is to add a custom link. And I'm going to show you why. So put a hashtag here all together, okay? And then a link text. So this is courses. And then add menu. So basically, if they click on this, it will go nowhere. This is your main heading, basically, okay? And then you can add the courses category. So what we're going to do is to view all and then select them all, just like this, okay? One by one. Very good. Add to menu. And now we're going to move them slightly by the side. So basically indent them. As you can see, now we have menu, submenu, okay? And do the same with all of them. And now you can even reorganize them if you wanted to, you know, maybe alphabetically or by type. So maybe I want to move this up here, maybe Figma down the bottom or whatever, you know. So you can move them around the way you want, okay? And then you could also have menu, submenu, sub-submenu. That's all the same, you know. So let's click save for now. Let's go back to our homepage and let's refresh. And there you go. All we have now is courses on top. If you click on it, it's not going anywhere because this is our title. But if you click on any of these, it's going to bring you to the actual category. So let's have a look at Bootstrap, for instance. And you'll see these are all the Bootstrap courses. And basically here you have Bootstrap ticked already. And now once the visitor is there, they can tick anything they want. Maybe they want to see as well WooCommerce and maybe a bit of WordPress, okay? So that's basically it. So this is how you can change this menu item. So now let me show you how to add more. So obviously you're going to need your contact page. So these are your pages, okay? So you can view all and then scroll down the page. And as you can see, you can find the one that's suitable for you, the one you want to add, obviously, you know. You have pricing, my account, and student registration and all that. So let's just add contact for now. So add to menu. And if you scroll down, as you can see, this one is the same level as the top one here, courses. And now we can add more. So you could have maybe all the login features and all of that, okay? So as you can see by the side of all these different pages. So some of them it might be useful to you and some you might not use at all, okay? So you have instructor registration. This is a handy one. What do we have? We have the My Account page as well, which is very helpful. And perhaps student registration, okay? So add to menu. And you also have the WooCommerce endpoint. So what are these? Well, basically it's all your array, dashboard, my profile and everything. So these are all for your users, obviously, you know. So you might want to add them as well separately. So let's scroll down and as you can see, you have all these pages. So maybe you can create again a subsection. So for this, we're going to create a custom link, hashtag, and then here maybe login, okay? Add to menu. So let's bring this a little bit further up after the contact page. And now you can indent these separately, obviously, you know. There you go. So we have the instructor registration, student registration, and then you have the My Account page. So the account page should normally indent it as well right here. So basically that's My Account for the instructor. And then you can add the pages for the student as well. As you can see, you have the dashboard, profile, enrolled courses, wish list, reviews, my quiz attempt. These are all for the students, okay? Purchase history, and then add to menu. Very good. So as you can see, this is for the students. So indent it here just underneath, as you can see, just like that, okay? So these are all items for the student. And then we can do the same with the instructor, okay? So if you go back and scroll down a little bit, you have my courses, my announcement, withdrawal, quiz attempt. No, that's for quiz attempts, sorry. This, orders, downloads, that's it. And payment methods. So let's add. And these are all for the instructor, okay? So again, we're going to bring them here and indent it. Indent it. And keep doing so with all of them. Your orders, your downloads, and payment methods. There you go. And you can change this maybe by order of importance, maybe my account orders, my courses, and so on. Now, if you click save and go back to the front page and refresh, there you go. As you can see, I've logged in. Now you have instructor registration and student registration, and then you can change this as well. Maybe we can remove the word registration, maybe for instructors and students. Okay, so let's go back here and let's change this very quickly together. So edit, so remove registration, and do the same with the other one. Let's remove registration, and that's basically it. So save, and I think we're almost done, guys. Very good. So courses, contact, login details, and there you go, guys. We're all done with this project. Okay, so now maybe you'd like to find out how you can build a price comparison website. Well, if this is the case, I'm leaving the video right here.